second part of the nephron, that is renal tubule. Okay, so renal tubule. So this is the renal tubule. If we see the diagram, this is the renal tubule. General renal tubule arise from the Bowman capsule. General Bowman capsule continues as the renal tubule. Okay, yes. So renal tubule. Okay, so this renal tubule consists some parts, that is proximal convoluted tubule. Proximal convoluted tubule. Proximal convoluted tubule and Henle loop, distal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule, and the last one is collecting duct. Okay, so collecting duct. So these are the four major parts which are included in the renal tubule. So first we know about the proximal convoluted tubule. Okay, right. Here we see this is the proximal convoluted tubule. So this one is the here up to. Okay, so this one is the proximal convoluted tubule. Okay, proximal convoluted, okay, tubule, right. Okay, so this proximal convoluted tubule opens into, it is a wide tube, it is a wide tube, opens into a narrow tube called Henle loop. It opens into Henle loop. This one is the Henle loop. It looks like a hairpin. So hairpin like structure is called Henle loop. Okay, U-shaped tube, this narrow U-shaped tube is called as Henle loop. Okay, so generally the Henle loop is also divided into two parts, two limbs. Okay, so Henle loop divided into two limbs. So one is descending limb. So this one is the descending limb. Okay, this one is the descending. Okay, so descending limb of Henle. Okay, descending limb of Henle. This one is, and the another limb here we see. So this one, so this another limb is called ascending. Okay, so ascending limb of Henle. Okay, ascending limb of Henle. This one is a descending and this one is the ascending. Okay, right. So ascending order, it arranged. So like this. So the descending limb wall has very thin. Okay, thin wall. So thin wall. And the ascending limb wall has thick. Okay, ascending limb wall has thick. So thick wall. Okay, it contains thick wall. So the ascending limb of Henle opens into a wide tube called as, this one is called as distal convoluted tubule. Okay, here we see. So distal convoluted tubule. So ascending limb of Henle opens into distal convoluted tubule. Okay, so distal convoluted tubule. Distal convoluted tubule. Okay, right. So this ascending limb opens into distal convoluted tubule. Okay, right. So why? Because of calling distal or proximal. So proximal convoluted tubule means, this proximal convoluted tubule means which is present near the Bowman capsule. That's why the tubule is called as proximal. Here the distal convoluted tubule which present far of the Bowman capsule. Okay, this tubule present far distance of the Bowman capsule. So that's why it called as distal convoluted tubule. Okay, so distal convoluted tubule opens into, this distal convoluted tubule open into initial collecting duct. So this one is initial. Okay, so initial, this one is initial collecting duct. Okay, this one is initial collecting. So these are the initial. Here this one. So this is the initial collecting duct, and this one is the initial collecting duct. Here so many initial collecting ducts are present. Okay, these initial ducts are joins together to form a straight collecting duct. Straight collecting duct. Okay, this is the straight collecting duct. So these initial collecting ducts are joins together to form a straight collecting duct. Okay, the straight collecting duct, the straight collecting duct opens into medullary pyramid. Okay, so for best understanding, now I draw the internal structure of the kidney. Okay, internal structure of the kidney. Okay, right, here we see the diagram of the internal structure of the kidney. So this is the internal structure. Here these are the pyramids. So these are the pyramids. Okay, these are the pyramids, seven pyramid shape, right? So these are the renal pyramids. So here generally nephrons are located on the pyramids. Okay, right, on the pyramids. Here we see this is the Malpighian body. Okay, Malpighian body, that means Bowman capsule and glomerulus. Malpighian body, this one is, and here this is the proximal convoluted tube. Here we see, and this one is the Henle loop, and this is the distal convoluted tubule, and this one is straight collecting duct. Okay, this is the straight collecting duct. Okay, so this straight collecting duct opens through the medullary pyramid. This is the pyramid, opens through the medullary pyramid. Okay, right. So like these, many of like these tubes, that means this is one nephron, this is one nephron, this is one nephron. There are so many nephrons are located on the pyramid. Okay, so each nephron contains these collecting tubes. So all these collecting tubes are generally joins together to form all these collecting tubes joins together to form a duct of Bellini. Okay, duct of Bellini. Here we see, this is the duct of Bellini. Okay, so duct of Bellini. Okay, duct of Bellini. Okay, here we see all these tubes, all these straight tubes collecting ducts are joins together. Okay, all these straighted tubes of each pyramid. Okay, of each pyramid, all these collecting straighted tubes joins together to form a duct of Bellini. Okay, the duct of Bellini opens into renal papilla. Okay, opens into renal papilla. This duct of Bellini opens into renal papilla. This one is the renal papilla. Okay, so this one is the generally renal papilla. We discussed in previous video. Okay, the base of the pyramid is called renal papilla. So these duct of Bellini opens into renal papilla. So renal papilla generally projected into calyces. Okay, so then here this duct of Bellini opens into the renal papilla, and then this renal papilla is opens into calyces, renal calyces. Okay, here the renal calyces further open into pelvis. This is the renal pelvis. Okay, like this arrangement we seen in the kidney. Okay, are you clear? Once you listen carefully, So these are the striated tubes. These are the striated collecting ducts of the nephrons. Okay, these collecting ducts are joined together to form a duct of Bellini. Okay, so the duct of Bellini open into renal papilla. Okay, the renal papilla generally enter into the renal calyces. So renal calyces leads into renal pelvis. Okay, like this direction, generally nephrons and the collecting ducts are arranged. Okay, generally the content of the collecting duct, that means urine, generally passed through the renal papilla, calyces, and to renal pelvis. Okay, from there it enter into the ureters. Okay, right. So this is the arrangement of collecting duct or nephron on the renal pyramid. Okay, right. So here generally we see the Malphizian body, and this one is Malphizian body, and proximal convoluted tubule. This is the proximal convoluted tubule and distal convoluted tubule. Okay, Malphizian body. So Malphizian body and the proximal PCT, proximal convoluted tubule, and DCT, distal convoluted tubule. These three are arranged in the cortical region of the kidney. Cortex region of, this is the cortex region of the kidney. And the Henle loop, this one is the Henle loop. Okay, but Henle loop located in the medullary region. Okay, right. So in some nephrons, the Henle loop very little, too short. Okay, too short. That type of nephrons are called as cortical nephrons. That type of nephrons are called as cortical. Okay, cortical nephrons. Okay, cortical nephrons. Okay, that means the nephrons which are contains very too short Henle loop. That type of nephrons are called cortical nephrons. Those nephrons contains long Henle loop. Henle loop will be passed very deep into the medulla region. Okay, in some nephrons contains long Henle loops. Those are passes deep into the renal, deep into the medullary region. That type of nephrons are called as juxtamedullary nephrons. That type of nephrons are called as juxtamedullary nephrons. Okay, like this, nephrons are two types: cortical nephrons and juxtamedullary nephrons. Okay, right. Here we see this is the some capillaries, some blood capillaries are arranged like a network. Those are noticed by the red colored. Okay, these red colored network is called as peritubular capillaries. They are the blood capillaries. That is the blood they are the blood capillaries which forms like a network. So that network is called as peritubular capillaries. Okay, so these network like structure is called as peritubular capillaries. Okay, peritubular capillaries. So these peritubular capillaries are formed by the afferent arteriole. Here we see this is the afferent arteriole. Okay, so peritubular capillaries are formed by the afferent arteriole, and here once you see the capillaries, the fine blood capillaries which are around the Henle loop, these capillaries which are around the Henle loop, they are called as vasa recta. Okay, they are called as these capillaries. Here we see these capillaries. Okay, these capillaries are called as vasa recta. Okay, these capillaries are called as vasa recta, which around the Henle loop. Okay, right. So this is about the structure of nephron and renal tubule. Okay, thank you.